just this one book called Srimad Bhagavatam. And Srimad Bhagavatam is a great mass of wonderful stories that the speaker is speaking to a person who is about to leave their body. They're about to die. And he's a great king, and he decides that, if I'm going to die, he gets this benediction to know that he's going to die in 7 days. And he decides, if I'm going to die in 7 days, then all I want to do is immerse my consciousness in hearing about the supreme glories of the Lord. And so there's a group of people that have gone together, and they're all hearing this discourse for 7 days about the Lord and his devotees. And so right now we're at a point where there's this story that there's this young boy, and this young boy is only 5 years old, but he's a great devotee of the Lord. He's realized the goal of life, the purpose of life, and he's realized Krishna. And that's all he's interested in. But his father, the interesting thing, is called a demon. Not only a demon, he's the best of the demons. He's done all kinds of austerity, meaning that he's done the sacrifices it takes to get this certain power. For instance, people go to school for 4 years or 8 years, and they do this austerity of school, and then once they're done, they become a doctor, right? Well, Hiranyakashipu has gone to the ultimate school of of siddhi or accomplishments, and he's done these sacrifices for thousands of years, and he's gained so much strength and so much fame and so much beauty and opulence that not even nobody can stop him. He's taken all over the whole entire universe. But his son, this person who is, and his point isn't that he wants to do this for, to give to others or to help or to do it for the Supreme Lord. He wants to establish himself as the Supreme Person. He says, I'm the Lord, I'm God. See, look at all my power. He says, I'm God. And his son, though, says, no, Dad. Actually, I know the Supreme Lord. And the place that you get your power is from my Supreme Lord, my Krishna. And this infuriates his dad. Because his dad wants to hear his son say, no, Dad, you're the supreme, you're the best, But his son won't give up in any way, shape, or form. And his father, who is such a demon, decides that just because he's not getting what he wants from his boy, this recognition, he's going to kill his own son. And so over and over and over again, he tries to kill his son. But every single time, his son comes out unscathed. And so his boy, Prahlad, his name's Prahlad Maharaj, all he does is tell people, his friends at school, about Krishna. He's like, Krishna this, Krishna that. And because of this desire only to, and his faith that only to see Krishna, he's protected. And so now we're at a point right here where we're going to hear about the Lord coming to protect him in a certain way. So we're going to read 14 through 33. But first we'll read or sing a song called Jai Radha Madhava. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradari Gopi Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanacharya Tira Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Radha Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradari Gopi Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanacharya Tira Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Radha Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Hare Jaya Radha Kalashanji Radha Kalashanji Shri Radhe Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Shri Shri Radha Madhava Ki Jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Together, please, the Sanskrit and English. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devyam sarasvatim vyasam tato jaimim yudirayet. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer the respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead, Narayana, unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Sarasvati, the goddess of learning, and to another Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nashtapreya Shabreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamasloke Bhavati Bhakti Naishtiki. By regular attendance on classes on the Bhagavatam, and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome in his heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, whose praise with transcendental songs is established as an irrevocable fact. Om Gandamarandasya Gananjana Shalakaya Chakshuranmalitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. I was born in the darkness of ignorance, and my spiritual master so kindly opened my darkened eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto them. Okay. 14 through 33. So, with Let's do 2 verses apiece, please.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Text 14. Being obsessed with anger, Hiranyakashipu, who is very great in bodily strength, thus chastised his exalted devotee son, Prahlad, with harsh words. Cursing him again and again, Hiranyakashipu took up his sword, got up from his royal throne, and with great anger struck his fist against the column. Then from within the pillar came a fearful sound, which appeared to crack the covering of the universe. O my dear Yudhishthira, this sound reached even the abodes of the demigods, like Lord Brahma. And when the demigods heard it, they thought, oh, now our planets are being destroyed.
Do one more, please. Go ahead and do one more, please.
While showing his extraordinary prowess, Hiranyakashipu, who desired to kill his own son, heard that wonderful, tumultuous sound, which had never before been heard. Upon hearing the sound, the other leaders of the demons were afraid. None of them could find the origin of that sound in the assembly.
So what's going on right here is Prahlad has told his father that Hiranyakashipu is asking, who protects you? The way that his father has tried to kill him is so outrageous, right? He poured hot oil on him. Lived. Threw him off a cliff. Lived. Threw him in a hole of snakes. Lived. And over and over, his dad was trying to kill his own son like this. And his son would come out unscathed. And so his dad says, where do you get your strength, my son? And he says, well, I get my strength from the same person that you do, Father. I get it from the Supreme Lord. And he goes, oh, you get your strength from the Supreme Lord, but where is he? And he says, Father, my Supreme Lord is everywhere. And he says, oh, is he here? And he says, yes. He says, is he here? And he says, yes. And he points at a pillar. And he says, is your Lord in here? And he says, yes, Father, my Lord is in that pillar even. And so right now he's going, okay, then I'm going to smash the pillar. If your Lord's in there, I'm going to smash this pillar. I'm going to break it. So this is where we're at right here. 17, please.
To prove that the statement of his servant Prahlad Maharaj was substantial, in other words, to prove that the Supreme Lord is present everywhere, even within the pillar of an assembly hall, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari, exhibited a wonderful form never before seen. The form was neither that of a man nor that of a lion. Thus the Lord appeared in this wonderful form in the assembly hall. When Hiranyakashipu looked at all around to find the source of the sound, that wonderful form of the Lord, which could not be ascertained to be either a man or a lion, emerged from the pillar. In amazement, Hiranyakashipu wondered, what is this creature that is half man and half lion?
Yeah, when you get a time, when it's convenient, you know.
Hiranyakashipu studied the form of the Lord, trying to decide who the form of Nrsingadev standing before him was. The Lord's form was extremely fearsome because of his angry eyes, which resembled molten gold, his shining mane, which expanded the dimensions of his fearful face, his deadly teeth, and his razor-shaped tongue, which moved about like a dueling sword. His ears were erect and motionless, and his nostrils and gaping mouth appeared like caves of a mountain. His jaws parted fearfully, and his entire body touched the sky. His neck was very short and thick, his chest broad, his waist thin, and the hairs on his body as white as the rays of the moon. His arms, which resembled flanks of soldiers, spread in all directions as he killed the demons, rose in atheists with his conch shell, disc, club, lotus, and other natural weapons.
Text 23. Hiranyakashipu murmured to himself, Lord Vishnu, who possesses great mystic power, has made this plan to kill me. But what is the use of such an attempt? Who can fight with me? Thinking like this and taking up his club, Hiranyakashipu attacked the Lord like an elephant.
Yeah, go ahead and read like 2 or 3, please, if you.
Text 24, just as a small insect falls forcefully into a fire and the insignificant creature becomes invisible, when Hiranyakashipu attacked the Lord, who was full of effulgence, Hiranyakashipu became invisible. This is not at all astonishing, for the Lord is always situated in pure goodness. Formerly, during creation, he entered the dark universe and he illuminated it by his spiritual effulgence. Thereafter, the great demon Hiranyakashipu, who was extremely angry, swiftly attacked Nrsimhadev with his club and began to beat him. Lord Srimadev, however, captured the great demon along with his club, just as Garuda might capture a great snake.
O Yudhishthira, O great son of Bharata, when Lord Nrsimhadev gave Hiranyakashipu a chance to slip from his hand, just as Garuda sometimes plays with a snake and lets it slip from his mouth, the demigods, who had lost their abodes and who were hiding behind the clouds for fear of the demon, did not consider that incident very good. Indeed, they were perturbed.
Go ahead with one more, people.
When Hiranyakashipu was freed from the hands of Nrsimhadev, he falsely thought that the Lord was afraid of his prowess. Therefore, after taking a little rest from the fight, he took up his sword and shield and again attacked the Lord with great force. Making a sound, shrill sound of laughter, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana, who is extremely strong and powerful, captured Hiranyakashipu, who was protecting himself with a sword and shield, leaving no gaps open. With the speed of a hawk, Hiranyakashipu moved sometimes in the sky and sometimes on the earth, his eyes closed because of fear of Nrsimhadev's laughter. As a snake captures a mouse or Garuda captures a very venomous snake, Lord Nrsimhadev captured Hiranyakashipu, who could not be pierced even by the thunderbolt of King Indra. As Hiranyakashipu moved his limbs here, there, and all around, very much afflicted at being captured, Lord Nrsimhadev placed the demon on his lap, supporting him with his thighs, and in the doorway of the assembly hall, the Lord very easily tore the demon to pieces with the nails of his hand. Lord Nrsimhadev's mouth and mane was sprinkled with drops of blood, and his fierce eyes, full of anger, were impossible to look at. Licking the edge of his mouth with his tongue, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Nrsimhadeva, decorated with a garland of intestines taken from Hiranyakashipu's abdomen, resembled a lion that had just killed an elephant.
Finish the last few, Drista, please.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who had many, many arms, first uprooted Hiranyakashipu's heart, and then threw him aside, and turned towards the demon's soldiers. These soldiers had come in thousands to fight with him, and with raised weapons were very faithful followers of Hiranyakashipu. But Lord Nrsimhadev killed all of them merely with the ends of his nails. The hair on Nrsimhadev's head shook the clouds and scattered them here and there. His glaring eyes stole the effulgence of the luminaries in the sky, and his breathing agitated the seas and oceans. Because of his roaring, all the elephants in the world began to cry in fear. Airplanes were thrown into outer space and the upper planetary system by the hair on Nrsimhadev's head. Because of the pressure of the Lord's lotus feet, the earth appeared to slip from its position, and all the hills and mountains sprang up due to his intolerable force. And because of the Lord's bodily effulgence, both the sky and all directions diminished in their natural illumination.
17 is our focus verse. Satyam vidyatum nijabartya basityam. Satyam vidyatum nijabaryatya basityam.
Satyam vidatum nijabritya bhashitam.
Vaipitam cha batushev akleshu shatmanaha.
Vyaptim cha bhuteshvakileshu chatmanaha.
Vaptyam cha bhuteshakileshu chatmanaha.
Vyaptim cha bhuteshvakileshu chatmanaha.
Adrisyatat bhuta rupa mudhvayan.
Adrishyatatatbhuta rupamadvahan.
Adrisyatat bhuta rupa mudhvayan.
Adrishyatatyadbhuta rupamad udvahan.
Stambe sambayam amargyana manusam.
Stambe sabhayam namrigam namanusham.
Stambe sadvayam namargam namanusam.
Stambe sabhayam namrigam namanusham.
Bolo, please.
Satyam vidatum nijabritya bhashitam.
Satyam vidyatum nijabritya basitam.
Vyaptim cha bhuteshvakileshu chatmanaha.
Vapyatim chabute shakleshu chatamana.
Adrishyatadbhuta rupamudvahan.
Adrisyatat bhuta rupa mudvayan.
Stambe sabhaya namrigam namanusham.
Stambe sadyayam namargyam namanusam. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. To prove the statement of his servant Prahlad Maharaj was substantial. In other words, to prove that the Supreme Lord is present everywhere, even within the pillar of an assembly hall, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Hari exhibited a wonderful form never seen before. The form was neither that of a man nor that of a lion. Thus the Lord appeared in his wonderful form in the assembly hall. Purport. When Hiranyakashipu asked Prahlad Maharaj, "Where is your Lord? Is he present in this pillar?" Prahlad Maharaj fearlessly replied, "Yes, my Lord is present everywhere." Therefore, to convince Hiranyakashipu that the statement of Prahlad Maharaj was unmistakably true, the Lord appeared from the pillar. The Lord appeared as a half lion and half man, so that Hiranyakashipu could not understand whether the great giant was a lion or a human being. To substantiate Prahlad's statement, the Lord proved that his devotee, as declared in Bhagavad Gita, is never vanquished. Kuntaya pratijanihi na me bhaktya prasannasati. Prahlad Maharaj's demonic father had repeatedly threatened to kill Prahlad, but Prahlad was confident that he could not be killed, since he was protected by the Supreme Lord. By appearing from the pillar, the Lord encouraged his devotees, saying, in effect, "Don't worry, I am present here." By manifesting his form as Nrsingadev, the Lord was also preserved the truth of Lord Brahma's promise that Hiranyakashipu was not to be killed by any animal or any man. The Lord appeared in a form that cannot be said to be fully man or a lion. Hare Krishna. This is an amazing story. So, Hiranyakashipu decided that he wanted to conquer everything. And so to conquer everything, he knew that to get power, you have to do some kind of sacrifice. So he decided that if I'm going to do a sacrifice, I want to do the sacrifice that will give me invincibility, right? Basically, eternal life and invincibility, that no one could kill him and that he would live forever. So he did these austerities in this most amazing way, literally thousands of years of austerities. And when he was done, to a certain point, Lord Brahma came. Lord Brahma is the creator of the universe. So sometimes Lord Brahma is mistakenly understood to be the Supreme Lord because he creates this most amazing universe, this universe that has millions and millions and millions of planets, is created by him, and it's so detailed that one might think, wow, he's so amazing. He must be the Lord, right? But Lord Brahma even says in the Srimad Bhagavatam, he says, yes, some people mistake me as the supreme person, but my creator is even way more magnificent than me. Matter of fact, this universe that I've created is just but a piece of sand and a whole beach of sand. My universe is just one. And my Lord is giving the energy and sustaining all of these universes. So Lord Brahma comes to Hiranyakashipu after he's doing all the austerities. He says, okay, what would you like? You've done your austerities. And he says, well, I want to become immortal. He says, well, Lord Brahma says, I'm not even that. So I can't give you something that I don't have, right? So Hiranyakashipu is very intelligent. He goes, okay, if I can't get my immortality, then I want you to give me that I can't be killed by any man or any animal. I can't be killed by any weapon or any hands. I can't be killed in the night, and I can't be killed during the day. I can't be killed inside, and I can't be killed outside. And so for a few more like this, he asked for these benedictions. And Lord Brahma said, okay, I can do that. And Hiranyakashipu thought what? That, haha, I've won. How intelligent my intelligence is, that who could ever kill me like this? It's impossible, right? Yeah, pretty intelligent, right? So, Hiranyakashipu, because of this benediction, went all throughout the universe conquering everything. Any very, very, what we call demigods who have many powers to create and control things were even conquered by Hiranyakashipu. But Hiranyakashipu couldn't conquer one person. Yes. His own son, a 5-year-old boy, he couldn't even conquer. So you could imagine somebody having all the power to conquer everything, and yet your little 5-year-old boy, who's your own son, is sitting there saying, Dad, you're not that big of a deal. You're cool. You're the king of the demons, and yes, you've got all this power. But your power comes from my Lord. The person who I love and I'm always thinking about, you get the power from him. As a matter of fact, that's where I get my power. So it gets to this situation we've heard now, where Hiranyakashipu has said, okay, if you get your power from the Lord, then where is he? He says, he's everywhere. He says, oh, is he in this pillar? He says, yes, he's in this pillar. So Hiranyakashipu takes his club and destroys the pillar. And who comes out? Nrsingadev. He comes as half man, half lion. It's said that Krishna was a little bit embarrassed to come out in this form. He's like, I'm Krishna. I'm sitting here with these beautiful cheeks, this beautiful smile, these beautiful eyes, and I'm taking this form of the half man, half lion. What will people think? You know what? Forget it. I'm here for my devotee. I will do anything for the person who loves me. So he comes in this half man, half lion, and he fights with Hiranyakashipu. And although Hiranyakashipu was this great demon, so strong that Lord Nrsingadev grabs him like a wasp, a little bug, pops him, puts him on his lap, and tears him apart with just his fingernails. So, why did Krishna come as Lord Nrsingadev? Well, it's for a few different reasons. He went to protect his devotee. And it's said in Srila Prabhupada's purport, he also wanted to make the statements of the benediction that his devotee, Lord Brahma, gave to Hiranyakashipu true also. So he came as a half man and half lion. Neither man nor animal. Where did he kill Hiranyakashipu? in his lap, neither in the air nor on the ground. And right here, it's not showing it, but he couldn't kill Hiranyakashipu inside or outside. So where did he kill Hiranyakashipu? In a doorway. Does it show the doorway? Yeah? Okay, yes, you can see that, yes. So he killed him in the doorway, which is neither inside or outside. One other of Hiranyakashipu's benediction was that he couldn't be killed in the nighttime or during the day. So when did he kill Hiranyakashipu? At dusk, when it's neither day or night. He didn't kill him with his hands or with a weapon. He killed him with his fingernails. So, no matter how smart you think you are, how intelligent you think you are, that you can overcome or overdo the Lord or his devotees, the Lord is always smarter. So one might ask, well, Hiranyakashipu did all of these benedictions and all this sacrifice for his power, so where did Prahlad Maharaj's power come from? Well, he says it comes from my Lord. But what were the characteristics that Prahlad Maharaj was carrying to have this faith in the Lord? He never was shooken, right? So I thought that one of the things I was thinking about this, wow, he has this unshakable faith. It's amazing. And so we have this book called The Nectar of Instruction. And this book, Nectar of Instruction, is really amazing. Look how thick it is. Not a very thick book, huh? Very thin. Matter of fact, that you could read this book in probably about an hour and a half, 2 hours maybe. And this book is known to bring somebody from the very beginning of devotional service to the highest realization. That's a pretty potent book. It's only this thick. Matter of fact, the first verse in Nectar of Instruction speaks about how to have followers all over the world. Imagine this is the very first verse that Srila Rupa Goswami mentions. He says, do this, this, and this, and you can have followers all over the world. He goes from, what we say, 0 to 100 real fast. So in the third verse, he says, there are 6 things that are favorable for our Krishna consciousness, for our devotion to the Lord. And 3 of them, the first 3, Prahlad has in full. What are those 3? Enthusiasm, patience, and confidence. Confidence, enthusiasm, confidence, and patience. And Srila Prabhupada says in the purport of Nectar of Instruction, verse 3, he says, he gives us an understanding of what enthusiasm is. Is enthusiasm a feeling? Have you ever felt enthusiastic? Yeah. But Srila Prabhupada, interestingly enough, doesn't just talk about enthusiasm as a feeling. He says, Srila Prabhupada says, enthusiasm takes action. And he says, but enthusiasm done right means action for whom? Act for Krishna. Yes, he says that. He says, action is meant for the pleasure of the Lord. So I ask you, what were some of the actions that Prahlad Maharaj took to please the Lord? We have a YouTube channel, so I'm going to speak that into the microphone so that people on there can hear what Drissa said. He said he would tell people about the Lord. Prahlad Maharaj was with a bunch of his classmates who were also 5 years old, and they would be curious about Prahlad's understandings, and they would ask him questions, and Prahlad would say, oh yeah, my dad's really, he's strong and powerful, but let me tell you about this person. Is there anything else that Prahlad Maharaj would do for action? You take action?
Yes.
Yes, what would he do?
He would always think of the Lord.
He was always thinking of Krishna. Always. never forgetting him. Said that if there's one thing that we should understand about Krishna consciousness, it means to always remember the Lord and never forget him. So, Prahlad Maharaj was showing this enthusiasm, always taking action, even whether it's in his thoughts or in his external actions. So confidence. Did Prahlad Maharaj show confidence in his life? So much? What did it look like?
When his father threatened his life, he kept faith in Krishna and he was protected.
He had confidence. Srila Prabhupada says that confidence in the Nectar of Instruction, Srila Prabhupada defines confidence as the Lord will give me everything it takes to perform pure devotional service, and he will surely protect me. He'll give me everything I need, and he will protect me. And was there any other ways that Prahlad showed this confidence? I'll show you how he showed the confidence in one way. He never prayed even for himself to be protected. He never said, oh, my dear Lord, I need this protection, I need this, and this. Prahlad Maharaj had so much confidence, he just served the Lord and knew that all protection would be provided for him. Amazing, right? To have that much conviction, to have that much faith, shraddha. So then Prahlad Maharaj, or the third part of the instructions that I was speaking about was patience. What does Srila Prabhupada say about patience in the Nectar of Instruction? What example does he give? He gives a very interesting example. Huh? Yes, he gives the example of two married people, right? And a wife is very anxious to have a child, right? And Srila Prabhupada says, well, if you want a child, it takes the other person to engage, right? The other person has to agree. And so you develop a nice relationship, and then you get to the point where it's like, okay, we can have a child together. So as devotees, our patience is that the Supreme Person, he will give me anything and everything that is necessary, the confidence to perform devotional service when he wants to, when he feels like it. We have this, what's called surrender. We take a shelter of the Lord, that I have the confidence that you will protect me, and when, where, how, what, why, how that looks is completely up to you. I'm not instructing the Lord, you please protect me like this. You please help me like this. You please help me at this time. You please do it like that, like this. No. We just have this confidence and this patience that whenever the Lord is going to show his self in his life, in our life, in whatever way it looks like, that he will do it whenever he pleases. We see this in Prahlad Maharaj's life because he was thrown in a pit of snakes. Well, why didn't Krishna come and grab him at that time? Why didn't he come and kill his father at the time? Because Krishna does things when he wants to. But he still protected his devotee, right? So he comes over, all these things are happening to Prahlad, and Krishna waits and he sees. As a matter of fact, it said that Krishna acts in the devotee's life. Why? That actually Krishna is doing everything. But why is the front and center the devotee? Why are we talking about Prahlad Maharaj right now? Because he was tolerant, and because the Lord loves it when his devotee is praised and his devotee shows the confidence, the patience, and the enthusiasm. Krishna loves it so much that he will put his devotee in the limelight before he puts himself in the limelight. He loves it so much. It's like a father who's at the sidelines of their son's or daughter's soccer game, and when their kid scores a goal, the father didn't score the goal, but their son scored the goal, and the father feels so much pride. Look at my son or my daughter. They're so amazing, right? So similarly, Krishna puts his devotees in these situations. He puts his devotees in the situations where they're glorified because they show this enthusiasm, confidence, and patience in a most magnificent way. And the devotee knows that they really have no power themselves, that the power is only coming from the Lord, and they have completely taken shelter of him. Lord, what do I have? All I have is a desire to please you. So you please help me. Give me the situation that I can serve, I can give you, please you. So I'll wrap up with this. So a little antidote of how we can gain confidence, patience, and enthusiasm is before we do anything, we say to the Lord, Krishna, I only want to please you. I'm going to act now, and it's only for your pleasure. And something amazing happens when we do this prayer. The mind comes in line, our false ego comes in line, our senses come in line, and they say, okay, this is what we're going to do. There's even a better way to say this, though. Sometimes we need little things like that. They call them affirmations nowadays. We need little affirmations. We need to sometimes say it in a language that we're used to, right? So we can say, something that we can comprehend is, oh, Krishna, let me do everything for you. But there's even a higher way to say that same thing that pleases the Lord even more. Does anybody know what that is? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. This is this prayer. Krishna, I'm taking shelter of you. I just want to please you. Hare Krishna. That's all I'm here for. And so if we can take shelter of this Maha Mantra, we can take shelter of this attitude of confidence, patience, enthusiasm, this attitude that Krishna, I'm only here to please you, then we are also protected, Lord, like Prahlad Maharaj. I'll end there. Any questions, comments, thoughts? Please.
I appreciate your point about how we act to please Krishna. And I was having this thought earlier that being young and with friends and stuff, I would try to get people to like me. I would try to do these things. But in the material world, you really can't please anyone. You can't please anyone fully. And you definitely can't please everyone. So it's almost like a losing game if we try to put on this act that we're trying to please others. But if we simply try to please Krishna, that's enough. Even if, people hate us, even if people, they criticize us or they post mean things about us or, even if, he's on the news for doing, if, you can't please society, you can't please the public, you can't even please your family all the way, can't please your spouse all the way. The only person you can really please is Krishna, and the only person who can really please you all the way is Krishna too. So thank you for reminding me of that.
It's an amazing point, Drissa. I really appreciate your perspective in this way. I was thinking too that, all we can do, as a matter of fact, when we try to please others, what often happens is because we're conditioned state, that person says, oh, you want to please me? oh, let me take advantage. They can't even help. You can't help it. You're not even on purpose. It's just so subconsciously behind. Some people will do it on purpose. I'll be honest with you. Some people will be like, oh, this person wants to please me. Let me take you here. Do the service for me like this. Some people will just do it subconsciously because we're not being authentic. There's an art that we all should learn, and it's an art of attracting those who are meant to attract and repelling those people who were not meant to attract. We're still kind to everyone. We're still compassionate to everyone. But we need to understand that we have a service that is in a specific way to help certain people. And when we try to be outside of that, we become unauthentic. We start to attract people that also are in a state of unauthenticity. And I'm not trying to blame no one. I'm not trying to it's just a fact of how attraction comes. But if we be authentic and just say, I'm here to please Krishna, then we start to attract the people that we need to attract, that we can help and that we can serve properly. Go ahead, Drissa.
Thank you, yeah. And I was thinking a little more that Prahlad is like the epitome of this. It's like he doesn't care about pleasing his teachers. He doesn't care about pleasing his schoolmates. He doesn't care about pleasing his father. And in the drama, we have this line where Prahlad's mother is like, okay, keep your beliefs, but just try to please your father. Don't talk like this. But he doesn't care about pleasing anyone but Krishna. And yeah.
It hurts. Because of our false ego, it hurts when people, when we're doing our best to be authentic, and people don't like us, or people say mean things, right? It really hurts that false ego, right? However, what if we looked at it like not so much about our false ego, but it was Krishna's blessing that this person's acting in this way, because it shows me that this isn't the person that I need to associate with. I'm not saying we don't pray for this person. We're not saying we be kind, but we just can separate ourselves. In my authenticity, this is how this person acts, and it's not conducive for my service. So let me give some room. Thank goodness that this person showed me. Thank goodness this person was showing this character that isn't what I need to be around. Go ahead, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. That was very important. Sometimes I also see that lack of maturity. You also only I just have to please Krishna. I don't care about anyone else, right? Kanishta, he only worships Guru and Krishna, and he doesn't care about anyone else. You have to. But the Madhyama, he also respects the devotees, and he tries to please the devotees, because by pleasing the devotees, Krishna becomes very happy. So, but the devotee, he doesn't try to go out of his way to make someone else uncomfortable, but his goal is to always please Krishna.
Yeah.
And people who are demoniac in nature, they will feel uncomfortable because they don't like Krishna being glorified. They want to be the center of attraction. So I think I just wanted to call that out.
It's such a good point, and there's really a perspective that how do we please others that's important. We're pleasing others because why? It pleases Krishna. We're not trying to please others to get to Krishna. We're trying to. Krishna's the main attraction, right? And so therefore we know that Krishna is so happy. Matter of fact, we walk in the temple, and what's the first thing we do? We come to Krishna. He's the supreme person. No, you're right. I was kidding. We go to Srila Prabhupada. We go to our founder Acharya first before we even pay our respects to the Lord. Why? Because what pleases Krishna most is we go see his pure devotee. So even though at first we feel uncomfortable that I should come to the Lord, why do I need anybody else? But eventually in our maturity, we start to understand, wait a minute, to really please Krishna, we understand that pleasing his devotee is even more pleasurable. And so we go there, right? Because we want to see Krishna happy. Krishna, I don't understand it. I don't get it. I don't understand why you wouldn't want me to come to you first, and I don't understand why you wouldn't want me to do this, this, and this, and this, and this for you first. But since you say, go to my devotee, that makes me happier, I do it. And you know what happens? You experience, all of a sudden your heart becomes softer. You start getting more knowledge. You start getting this blessings, this mercy, because you didn't quite understand it, but you had enough faith that you took a step and you surrendered to that, what's pleasing to the Lord is me serving his devotees. So much mercy in it. Any other comments? Yeah, Paul, just make a comment. Was there one thing that kind of stood out to you, or maybe something that was said that didn't stand out? Anything really.
Well, thank y'all for having me, first of all.
Thank you.
Just the understanding of love, and I've been to many temples, been to many churches. I've been to many places of worship. And the reason why I came back, like I said, this is my 4th time. It's been years. I want to say at least three. I came back because I was missing something. I felt like I was missing something. Matter of fact, these probably wouldn't believe me. These are my work clothes. I remember there was a place that I could come. I didn't know what time it was open. So I decided to look it up real quick, and I saw that y'all are actually open almost all day for me anyway. I get off at 6 o'clock, and my job's not too far from here, maybe 10-minute drive.
Wow.
And I said, opposed to me doing what I normally do, I normally go home, eat, go to sleep, and then carry on with the day. I said, I actually have time today. I'm going to come here where I knew, and still know that I'm going to have peace for I don't know how long. I can honestly say if I never come here again, if the Lord doesn't give me another opportunity. I know that I can leave this place, this holy place, and feel comforted mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Physically and spirit, every every way that a human, or every way that a spirit in a human vehicle can feel the presence of the Lord. And
wow.
it's an honor to, when I walked in, I was like, oh, wait a minute. I didn't feel like I was going to be set ablaze. My father was an ordained minister, and so for me, I haven't stepped inside the church for the simple fact that I recall going inside and feeling like, you know what, I'm not supposed to be here. But when I walked into this place, I knew I was accepted. No matter what I did, I knew I could just come here, and if I, you know, just take my time and realize, you know, confidence and patience and enthusiasm, you know what, I lacked it. I'm still lacking, but I'm finding my way back. And I knew this was the place to come to find it. I knew this was the place to come. You know what I get to say? I have a library full of books, over 100 books at my house. And I have the Bhagavad Gita and a few of the other books. I haven't picked them up. They were always in my house for years, in my house. Haven't picked them up. So, in a way, this place was in my place, but it took for me to get out of my own head and out of my space, which is home, to come here into this place and know and remember that there's a place to come when you need your well filled.
Apollo, thank you so much. One thing that is very important in our tradition, in our culture, is the service we give to each other, right? And I don't know if you know how much service you just did right there. There's people that are listening and hearing that, and you're encouraging us, reminding us about what we have here. Some of us, I do this. I come here quite often, and I get a little content, sometimes a lot content. Oh, I don't know what I have. So when you share those words, it reminds my heart, reminds me, oh, man, look at this thing that we have that Apollo says 6:30 for a couple hours, few hours. You've had this experience that's just like beautiful, right? So thank you so much for sharing those words. The encouragement that you're giving all of us. Wow. Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripasindubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namo. Antikoti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaura Pramanande. Hari Hari Bo. Hare Krishna. It will go here underneath the laptop.